Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have 4 hearings with a couple where Momma's motioned the court to change their parenting plan because of Dad's chaotic lifestyle, including a recent stint in jail due to drugs and poor choices. She claims that Dad isn't reliable or consistent with their daughter and doesn't spend time with her even when he has the opportunity. She also claims that Dad has no car, no job, and the home he lives in is being investigated by CPS. Dad claims that Mom isn't really telling the truth and that he's settled all his legal problems and he's getting his life in order. He wants to go back to the 50-50 custody that they used to have before his daughter begged Mom to allow her to stay with her, and he allowed it. Let's see what the referee thinks.
All right, we'll take up file 2016-54490. And this is the matter of Joseph Burwanger and Samantha Roach. Mr. Burwanger is here via Zoom from the Acosta County Jail. And this is a date and time set for a hearing on a bench warrant. Sir, I'm the referee of the court assigned to handle these matters. At the conclusion of this hearing, I'll make a recommendation that'll become a court order. You do have the right to have an attorney represent you if you wish you could hire one, or I could appoint one for you, or you can proceed without and represent yourself. You know what you'd like to do?
Well, what was that last part?
If you want to have an attorney anytime you're facing a jail sentence, you have the right.
I'm fine.
You're okay without an attorney?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yes,
All
sir.
right, very well. Ms. Hummel, do you have an update in the matter?
Yes, the current billing of $16, child support $15, medical support. There's a balance of $762.91. Of that, $100 is a bench warrant fine. $298.79 is owed to the defendant. $280.12 is owed to the state for Medi, and $84 in fees. Last time received a payment was $15.86, September 13th of 2022. $15.86, June 17th of 2022, and $15.86, April 8th of 2022. This is a failure to comply warrant that was issued December 5th, 2022, $500 or 90 days. Mr. Burwanger is currently in Acosta County Jail. I believe that he went in actually the same day that the warrant was issued. We did not have the information that he was incarcerated at the time. And as far as his out date, we do not have that information.
All right, and sir, do you agree that you owe the amount stated by friend of the court?
Yes, sir. That sounds
All right.
accurate without fees. Yes.
So you're supposed to pay 31 a month and you're about 762 behind. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I believe that's what she said with
All right.
warrant fee, but not. Yep.
Well, your payments were somewhat sporadic over the last half or 3/4 of 2022. What was going on?
So back in February, last February, not this February, obviously, my car was stolen, and it was my livelihood. I mean, that's what I used to get back and forth to work. That's what I usually get the kid to school, and this life kind of went downhill from there. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I mean, it's just that simple. I agree that.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I said I agree that I owe this money and I haven't been paying on it. You know, but like I said, my car was stolen and life's been rough. It's been tough. You know, obviously here I sit now. I obviously didn't go the right path from there. So
yeah, what's going on there?
You know, so my car got stolen, so I wasn't able to get the kid back and forth to school. So I let her mom keep her a little, you know, full time at that time, and you know, it hurt me. So I kind of fell into drugs, and then you know, and here I sit. So.
Okay. How much time are you looking at?
I'm honestly not sure. My next court date is Monday. I'm hoping that I'll be out soon after that, but I've been here as of the 14th. I'll have been here 88 days with good time, I believe.
Okay. So I was going over my Monday files, and you've got a custody hearing on Monday as well. Do you know about that?
I do not, sir.
Ms. Roach filed a custody motion. I was looking through the file and reading the motions for Monday, and it said that you had an arraignment or something coming up. So I asked Ms. Hummel to check around and see if you were lodged or not. So that's how we found you. But so what time is your hearing in Acosta County on Monday?
It's 8:30, sir.
All right, I got you at 9:30. If you can let them know, you'll need to be back on Zoom for a hearing at 9:30 on Monday with me.
All right, I will.
All right. So, I don't know what your plan is as far as that goes. I guess you gotta think about it over the weekend, but as far as this support goes, so you don't know if you'll be sitting for any appreciable amount of time or if you're gonna get out soon or what?
I'm hoping to be out soon. I was actually just spoke with my girlfriend about calling you guys up about setting up a payment plan. So it's kind of ironic that you guys had me come in today because I just spoke with her about that this morning. So because once I get out, I'll file taxes and I'll have a little bit of a few dollars and she's gonna help me out get the payment plan started and get caught up real quick.
All right. Do you have $500 to post? That's the bond.
I can.
Okay. So as soon as your sentence is done in Mecosta County, you could post the 500 to be released on this warrant?
Yes, I'll talk to my girlfriend about that and have that happen. Who does she pay that to?
She could, well, to avoid having you transported here and incurring that cost, she could pay it here at the front of the court while you are still in Mecosta County, and then that sentence would be satisfied.
That's the plan because I wanted to get rid of any holds or anything. So can she pay that over phone if she's called the FOC?
Ms. Hummel, can you give, if she calls and asks how to make a payment, can you tell her how?
We can tell her, she can pay it through allpaid.com. She would have to know a couple of numbers, but she could call the front desk and they would be able to give her the numbers as to where to make those payments. If she plans on doing it yet today, I'm gone after 3 o'clock. So if she wants to contact me before that or after that, she can check with the front. Do you happen to have an email or a phone number for her?
Yes, 231.
Oh, hold on. All right. Take up file 2016-54490, the matter of Joseph Burwanger and Samantha Roach. Both are here. Ms. Roach via Zoom. Mr. Burwanger's in court. And this was a date and time set to review the parenting time. There was an order entered at the last hearing granting Ms. Roach physical custody of the child. And Mr. Burwanger, I think, was incarcerated at that time, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. But the matter was set for review on the parenting time issue. The two of you had a chance to come up to any kind of agreement on parenting time?
We haven't talked, Your Honor.
Huh?
We haven't talked, Your Honor.
All right, both raise your right hands then. Do you both swear or affirm any testimony given this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, ma'am, this was initially your motion that brought this to be court's attention. What are you requesting as far as the entry of an order at this time?
Like Joseph pointed out, we haven't really talked. I'm not quite sure. What I do know is there's just multiple reasons why I am worried either for her well-being or her safety. And something I guess someone I had spoken to said I should make it very clear that this motion, as far as Delia being in my custody for the time being, is not something I want to have be a permanent thing. But it's to the point now, things that are, I very much worry for my daughter's safety in Joseph's care at this point in time, given the things that he's been involved in over the last year. And it's not just me at this point that's saying these things. I mean, his own daughter, he has told me that she has asked him to come back to my house because, quote unquote, she doesn't want to be around her drug addicted dad. I have letters here from members of his family. People have gone and gotten notarized letters talking about how, you know, like her aunt has multiple times had to pick her up from school because he didn't show up because he's at home sleeping or just off doing whatever. And she's brought her, it got to the point she stopped taking her out to Joseph. She'd just bring her to me because Lord knows where he is. I mean, the school has records about how much school she missed last year while she was in his custody. And then there's the things that Joseph himself has told me about the things that have happened in his home that terrify me for my daughter. They truly do. Like, this isn't a matter of me trying to be a bitter baby mama. This is me worrying about the safety, health, and well-being of my child. And I know Joseph it can say, Delia's asked, she, called me and asked me to come get her. He didn't come pick her back up for 3 days. No call, no nothing, just didn't show up. Then she proceeded to ask me to sit him down and tell him with her that she did not want to stay with him. And when she did that, he was given the opportunity to have her on the weekends. He was told flat out, she wants to stay with me. You are more than welcome to come over here any day and have dinner with her or take her for a weekend, whatever. We didn't even bother changing our agreement because it wasn't supposed to be a permanent thing. It was supposed to just be a verbal agreement of she stays with me and you get visitation whenever you want. And he would go months. My daughter didn't see her dad for months at one point, and my door was open. He chose not to come and see her. And then all of a sudden, one day he just flips a switch and he wants to go back to 50-50. And then within a few months, he's gotten arrested for the exact kind of thing that made her not want to be there and made me scared for her safety. So I'm not really sure what the solution is. That's why I'm here talking to a referee. Again, I don't want to permanently have this be, I have her and you're out of the picture. But at the same time, I do not think that she is safe or going to be taken care of the way she should be. And that's not coming from one instance. That's coming from almost 2 years worth now of situations and circumstances that have happened over and over again. Like, nothing is changing. In fact, it has gotten worse. I don't know. I've known Joe most of my life. I don't like seeing him like this. I don't like doing this. I don't like feeling like this person, but I worry about Delia too much to sit down anymore and just pretend like I can go off of somebody's word that she's fine and taken care of.
All right, sir, what's your side of this?
First of all, let me just start off by saying, there has been a time in my life where I fell into some trouble, yes, and I made poor decisions, and out of those poor decisions, one of my better decisions was to let Samantha take care of my daughter. A lot of what she is stating here is well over 2 years ago. I would just like to point out the record, this whole sleeping thing, okay? 3-4 weeks ago, my girlfriend took Delia and tried to get a hold of Sam, and both her brother confirmed, said, Samantha's on the couch sleeping, we can't get her up, so you can keep her for the night. Just put that out there. We all make bad choices. I'm on the track to get my life together. I've taken care of my legal issue, or most of my legal issues. I've got my license reinstated. I've gotten a car. I'm working on getting a job again. Like I said, we make mistakes. For the better of my daughter, I let Samantha take care of her. This instance where she's speaking of, where last instance where I didn't go with seeing my daughter on the weekends, my car was stolen. I live in the country. It's just part of that downfall of my life there. But since then, I went to jail, obviously. As much as it sucked, it helped me. It helped me get off drugs. I'm happy it happened. At the same time, I'm not happy it happened. But it was what I needed in the time of my life to get me on this course to do better. Now, I understand Sam's had Delia for the last four months now almost. So to help with her routine, I asked that I just, for the time being until summer starts, that just give me Wednesdays and every other weekend, every Wednesday, every other weekend. Then when school ends, we can go back to the 50-50 and we can review all this and we can go on forth there. And that's what I asked for the time being. I know that just to swap back to the 50-50 would be a huge jump. That's what I would prefer, but I would settle for every Wednesday and every other weekend.
So, yes, ma'am, are you in agreement with that at this time, that you have every other weekend and Wednesday parenting time?
I guess, do I have a choice in the matter at this point? I'm going to have to move forward from here. I fail to see.
There's always a choice. If you think that that's appropriate, then you can say so. If you think it's inappropriate, you can tell me why you wouldn't even be comfortable with that.
I don't even know how to word what I'm thinking here. Given the things that Joseph has told me himself about what he's been involved in, he was telling me about how he had to put bullets in his floor to warn people off. And after what he's been arrested for, that's literally what came out of his mouth. And for all I know, he was talking out of it because he likes to do that sometimes. But
Can I speak?
No, not yet. Wait till she comes back.
Okay.
Well, I've given her a chance to sort this out. Sir, do you live with anybody right now?
Yes, my girlfriend and her kids.
What's her name?
Erica Cardell.
Ardell?
Cardell. Caudill.
How old are her kids?
4, 7, and 9.
Where do you live?
838 Water Tower, apartment E2. I just updated it with a friend before.
All right.
Yes, sir.
And you had some criminal things going on in the
Yes.
last hearing. What was the resolution of all that?
They're still ongoing, sir.
All right, so you bonded out,
Yes, actually, they PR bonded me out, Your Honor.
so you're still facing the possession and
They're
arson charges?
yes, they're still on the table, but I'm not sure what's going on with those. With all that, I would just like to point out that again, they're all allegations at the time being, ain't nothing set in stone yet. With that, when they raided my house and they searched me, and none of the instances did they find drugs, they did not find drugs in my house, and they did not find drugs on me. So I just like to point that out. I won't sit here and deny that I didn't do drugs. I don't do drugs now.
Erica?
No, sir.
Are you being monitored at all during
Yes.
your release?
Yes, sir. Every day I have to call in. I take a random drug test. Taken 2 so far. 1 being yesterday at court, or sorry, Monday at court.
What's the condition of bond? Is it drug test daily?
No, it's a random drug test. I just call in and they tell me when to come in. I've done 2 so far, but yes, it's called day reporting or whatever. So I have to call in every day and check in.
Okay. And so what's she talking about with shooting holes in your corner or something like that?
It was just me talking on my ass, man. So yeah, so like I said, when there was a time in my life where I wasn't the right of mind. I was using drugs and shit was just crazy, and you know, I had the wrong people in my life. I'm not gonna lie, I did. That's why my car got stolen. That's you know, I mean, that's half of my downfall. Was my car got stolen. It was my life, man. Had all my tools and everything in it, and just it spiraled out of control. Then yes, Delia did ask to stay at her mom's, and me and her mom sat down and had a discussion about it, and I agreed to it because I knew it was the best thing at the time.
When was that?
That was in January, October, November, December, January, December. That was in December of not this December, the December before that.
So so you've had this order for 50/50 or week on, week off since 2017, but you hadn't been exercising that for a year?
No, not for a year, sir. So December, January. I had her in December, Christmas. After she came back for Christmas, she came back with me. Then she told me that she wanted to stay with her mom. So from January until school started, which was August.
Sure.
So from January until August, her mom had temporary full custody of her.
Any time during those months?
No, I seen my daughter during those months.
Oh, when did you see?
You know, when I could. I'd borrow a car here, borrow a car there.
So you didn't have a set schedule?
No, it wasn't a set schedule, sir. She was really lenient with me on that.
All the stuff she's talking about predated all that?
Yes, sir. And a lot of it is just hearsay allegations. I mean, a lot of it is just bull.
All right, so then
My daughter's never starved. My daughter never had to fend for herself.
So then what was your schedule starting in August of 2020?
Back to 50/50.
So for most of the school?
Yes,
and you went to jail?
up until I went to jail, sir. She had not missed a day of school.
That was February? No, that was,
When I got arrested,
yeah.
December 5th.
Okay. I apologize. think we have this issue figured out. I'm using a dinosaur of a laptop.
All right, so I asked Mr. Burwanger, I gave you a chance, I gave you a few minutes to get back and you didn't.
Thank
So
you, I
asked
do
him some
appreciate that.
questions. I did ask him some questions. He lives with his girlfriend and her kids in Big Rapids. He's out on PR bond. The charges still aren't resolved fully. He drug tests at the request of probably a court agent of some sort who monitors his pretrial release. No drugs were found in the house when his house was raided. The child asked to stay with you, and he allowed that from January to August, but then you guys were doing 50-50 again from August till December, it sounds like. And now here we are now. Have you had any time since you got out of jail?
No, sir.
What date you got out of jail?
March 1st.
You requested any?
I had my girlfriend ask. Yes. No.
So I guess, ma'am, I don't know if I fully heard what your response was to Mr. Burwanger's request for alternating weekend parenting time through the end of the school year. We can hold a review then.
I guess my only concern is her safety. I didn't realize this person that was contacting me was his girlfriend. Number one, Joseph could have contacted me. I've lived in the same place for 20 years. He could have easily showed up and asked me to see his daughter. I have nothing but all I'm worried about is her safety and her well-being. That's it. I've never tried to actually keep her from him. I just want her to be safe and taken care of. So I guess that is more than fine with me because I'm sure she'd love to see her father. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, just, I guess, yeah, as long as she's going to be safe and fed, then
So
I don't have any problems with that. I would like to just say, I guess that doesn't necessarily have to be your to Joseph. If we could maybe start the every other weekend part next weekend, just because she is having my parents, my mother is coming up from Detroit to see her for her birthday, and she's very excited about that. Shoot, it's not Wednesday today, but if you'd like to come get her today for a little while, that's more than fine with me. Like I said, I've never tried to keep her from you, Joseph. She has asked to stay with me, and you have left her with me because she asked. It's not me trying to take your daughter from you. She's been right here this whole time.
All right. So it sounds like the parties are in agreement, alternating weekends, what, Friday at 6 to Sunday at 6?
Okay.
Wednesdays from 5 to 8, although she said you could do that tonight. Or?
Can we do Wednesdays from after school until the next predating school? So that way she just get on the bus and, you know what I mean? The school can be the transfer part. She'd get off out of school, ride the bus home to me, then she'd get on the bus and we could just do pickup from school.
Let's just do the weekends for now, with some time on the Wednesday. She said you could do Thursday this week instead of Wednesday. So 5 to 8 on Wednesdays, except today would be Thursday from 5 to 8. And the weekends would start next weekend. That's aligned with our reasonable parenting time policy schedule for the weekends anyway. And then we'll review this on June 2nd at 9 a.m. See how things are going, see what you want to do for the summer and thereafter. Right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
June, I apologize. You said June 2nd at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, I'll do an order. It'll have the date and time in it.
Okay.
If you've got documents, you said you had some documents there you wanted me to see. That's kind of hard to do over Zoom.
I know, I was thinking that myself when I got it.
If you want to send them in beforehand, they'll be put in an envelope and then you can propose to enter them at the hearing.
Okay.
But I mean, really, a lot of times that type of document is hearsay anyway. You would actually need the person here to testify if you wanted their testimony on the record, because Mr. Burwanger can't cross-examine a document. As far as I know, they're not sworn under oath when they execute that document. So,
well, it isn't notarized.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. That just means that person saw them sign it. It doesn't mean that
right.
they were under oath. Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. But for the meantime, we'll do this, and I'll see you guys back here on June 2nd at 9 a.m. See how things are going.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're all set. We'll take up file 2016-54490, Joseph Burwanger and Samantha Roach, and both are here. And this is the date and time set for hearing in this matter. The matter had been heard back in February, actually March, and at that time, well, both. And in those hearings, parenting time was first considered, and then Mr. Burwanger was granted parenting time on a specific date in March, and then alternating weekends, Friday to Sunday and Wednesday evenings. The matter was to be reviewed prior to summer parenting time to determine what that would be. I guess let's start here. Both raise your right hands. Do you both swear or affirm any testimony you give in this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right. And sir, why don't you go first and tell me how the parenting time's been going since March?
I feel like it's been going good. I've had her every day I'm supposed to, plus extra. This Wednesday is the first day that I didn't take her just because I'm in the process of a move right now. I go to court Monday for my sentencing, and the recommendation for that is 2 years of probation. Other than that, I mean, I go in for my weekly drops. I've been off drugs, spending time with the kid, doing what I'm supposed to, trying to find a job. It's been a little tough with the record out right now, but I'm hoping when Monday comes around and my sentencing and all those charges are dropped, then we'll be able to move forward from there.
So you're not looking at any jail time then for those criminal matters you had going on?
Well, I sat 3 months already.
Oh, okay. When was that, before March then? Had you gotten out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was back in December, January, and February.
All right, so time served then you?
No, 2 years of probation as well.
Yeah. All right. So what are you hoping to have the summer parenting time look like?
I would like to go back to our original agreement, the week on, week off.
That's what you want to do for the summer? Are you, and you don't have a job right now?
No, Your Honor.
So you're home during the weeks that you'd have the child?
Yes. I am in the process of finding a job. Like I said, it's just been tough because of the open criminal record right now.
All right. All right, that sounds good, ma'am. What are your thoughts?
That's really not a good idea right now. I this last week have had multiple people attempt to get a hold of me to find where Joseph is because they don't know where he is, that he's missing. I've got the text messages, the threads. Like he said, he didn't have her on Wednesday this week because there was nowhere to take her. Not only that, at this point, like even the home that he had for her, I've had CPS agents get a hold of me twice now. In fact, the last time that we had a court date, he insinuated that CPS was contacting me over me when that was not the case. It was the household he had her in was being investigated by CPS. And I have been contacted by Melanie from CPS multiple times, had very long conversations with her about what's going on and what is and is not. Like I said, I spent the last week with multiple people contacting me to ask where Joseph was because he was quote unquote missing.
Okay, are those people?
And the only time I heard from him
Hold
in
on,
between,
ma'am. Are those people going to testify today and tell me more about
I
this?
didn't even
Getting
bother
all this-
asking them because last time I wanted to have people testify, I was told that it's all hearsay and it doesn't matter.
It's hearsay
May
when
I?
you say it. If the person who knows the information firsthand says it, it's not hearsay.
That's what I was told last time. I told you that I was going to have multiple people come in, testify to what they've seen, heard, experienced with Joe and with Delia. And I was told those things were all hearsay and they would not be considered.
No, it's hearsay when you tell me it. It's not hearsay when.
Well,
the
then I'd be glad to have
eyewitness
these
tells me
people come
that.
in. We can
All
set
right.
up another court date.
Well, today's the day, I set aside a half of the morning to take care of this.
Well, like I would be glad to do that.
Can you get a hold of the CPS? So currently CPS is looking into Mr. Burwanger's residence?
No, I did not say Mr. Burwanger, the household that he is in. The household that
Can I
he has had my
interject?
daughter in has been investigated by CPS. I've had 3 phone calls now to be notified that there is an ongoing investigation into the household that my daughter is in. That's,
So what do you know about that?
excuse me?
I asked Mr. Burwanger what he knows about that.
Okay, yeah, I would glad to be. First of all, CPS follows up on anything they ever hear. So Kyle, I'm sorry, I live with 2 other boys and a girl, my girlfriend's kids. Kyle had gotten a bruise on him and they thought it was a hickey. Well, we had an incident back in August of last year where my girlfriend's daughter's father got accused of doing some things to her, so they follow up on anything that had to do with sexual anything as a follow-up and just investigate it. He had a bruise on him, they assumed it was a hickey, so they came in and investigated it. The CPS cases result in nothing. They're doing their job. That's what they're supposed to do. As far as me missing, I would ask who thought it was missing, number one, because I don't talk to anybody except my girlfriend and Sam. So.
Well, it was your girlfriend's other partner that called me. Also, your sister-in-law.
He's always trying to stir stuff up, so I could care less about him. My sister-in-law knew her. She never tried contacting me, so.
So, ma'am, or I guess one of you or both, do you want to try to contact the CPS agent who's been investigating this? See if they can hop on the Zoom here and testify?
I don't have her money
My
right
phone
her
isn't
number
here.
right
I
on hand.
can go get my phone. I have her on my contact list, so I can go get it. I don't know about whether or not she'd be able to even get on here. I guess the main thing too, though, is that the last time we had a court date, it was insinuated that CPS was contacting me over something that had to do with me. Got it written down right here. It was flat out insinuated that I was the reason that CPS was in
Who
contact.
insinuated that?
It had nothing to do with me. I was literally just notified of it. But
I don't know, but if they're investigating Mr. Burwanger's residence, the place where the child would be, I'd like to hear about that from them.
okay,
I agree.
Can't ask questions of her if she's not permitted by her office policy to testify.
Okay, can I just state that all these
Well,
CPS.
hold on. Ma'am, you're not able to testify then about this matter today?
the judge did just ask, ma'am, you're not allowed to testify about this matter today.
Yeah, unless I have a subpoena, our office policies that we're not to interfere with friend of the court orders, or sorry, friend of the court hearings.
Wouldn't be interfering, it would just be testifying as a witness.
I can kind of hear it in the background.
I apologize. I know this is so weird. He said it wouldn't be I'm sorry, it wouldn't be interfering. It would just be testifying, is what he said. Yes.
Yeah, I suppose if this is I can't tell who I'm talking to, but if this is the judge I'm talking to, if you want to, or if you'd like to order me over the phone to testify about confidential CPS matters, that's really all I need is a judge's order to do so.
All right, at this time then I would direct you, ma'am, to testify truthfully about the investigation that involves Ascadelia Monet Leanne Burwanger and your information that you've gleaned and any recommendations you're making as a result of that recommendation. Does that work?
Sure, yep, that's perfectly fine.
All right, and what's your name?
Melena Staffen, Melayna Staffen, Staffen.
All right, and do you swear or affirm any testimony you give in this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And how'd you become involved in this investigation regarding that child?
I have a current CPS investigation involving another adult household member who is not specifically Mr. Joseph Burwanger.
All right, and which county are you with?
Nacosta.
All right. And so Mr. Burwanger lives at an address that you were investigating based on a complaint or an investigation of another matter?
Correct. He is not listed as an adult perpetrator, nor is Ascadelia listed as a victim in my investigation.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Burwanger lives at that address?
I'm uncertain. I have not been able to get a hold of the adult who is listed as the perpetrator for a couple of weeks now. I think I have the wrong phone number, or maybe the phone number has changed. And the apartment complex that they used to live in, or do live in, I'm unsure, is a locked apartment complex, so I can't necessarily knock on their door just because I don't have access to their door.
Okay.
Can I
And,
ask a question, Judge?
hold on. What were the allegations that you're investigating?
The allegations are involving a child by the name of Kyle Lucas, and there were concerns about a scrape or a mark on his neck and the origins of that marking on his neck.
Were you able to determine if that mark was a result of abuse or neglect?
Yes, I was. I actually have just submitted my report today. It is under review by my supervisor, but at this time, there has not been any abuse or neglect found in the household.
So there's no substantiation of any abuse or neglect?
Correct.
You're requesting that your investigation be concluded then or closed?
That is correct.
All right. All right. Mr. Burwanger, you had a question or two for the witness?
Yeah, I just, the simplest fact, you feel Delia safe and loved at her household. She's met us before. I've talked to her. She's spoken with Delia at
That's fine.
school, so
Okay, just let her answer the question. Ma'am, I guess his question was, do you feel that Ascadelia is safe in his household at this time?
Yes, I spoke with Ms. Ascadelia at school 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, and at that time she did not disclose any concerns at either her mother or her father's household.
All right. Is there any other questions?
no, Your Honor.
Ma'am, do you have any questions for Ms. Staffen?
No, we've already talked. I've already had all that down, so.
Okay. All right. I guess you're all set then, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you. You guys have a great day.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, sweetie.
Yep, bye.
Bye. I just want to point out my reasoning for bringing up the CPS thing in general. I had already been told that Delia was safe. She felt safe. She felt happy. My point was the last court date that we had on this recording, I could probably go find it. It was insinuated that CPS had contacted me due to a situation or circumstances involving my household, that I was being investigated for some reason in some way, shape, or form. That is not the case.
I don't know
Never
how
has
you,
been.
I don't know how you gathered that. I
don't
recall
know. We were
saying,
here talking
You brought
about
up
Mr.
and
We were here talking about
literally-
Mr. Burwanger's parenting time, not yours. So I don't know why that would have been relevant, but okay.
What do you mean? How is that not relevant? My point is that I was being painted to be someone that was having a CPS investigation brought upon myself.
I
When
get
that's
that.
not the
I get
case.
that. But your time with the child was not the issue. It was Mr. Burwanger's time with the
No,
child.
it wasn't. That's my point, is
I
that
know.
it was painted to be that my time was what was being investigated. And that's not the case.
okay, I know what you're referring to. And what I said in that last hearing we had was that the last time that CPS talked to all the kids, Delia raised concerns about her uncle Adam coming to the house. That was all I said. There was
I haven't
nothing
laid
about,
eyes on Adam since the day he tried to
I-
kill Apple.
I
So
understand
don't know
that,
what you want
but
me to say.
Delia stated to Melanie that she felt unsafe, not unsafe, but was worried that Adam might come back. That's all I said. There was no insinuation that there was a CPS investigation out for you.
All right, so if we've cleared up the CPS investigation now and there are no concerns with Mr. Burwanger's household from her perspective, I guess why still, ma'am, would you not want the court to enter an order for week on, week off parenting time during the summer?
Because at this point, it's unsure whether or not he even has a place to stay. He doesn't have a job.
We don't have a
But
job.
it's not about wanting to keep her from him or
Samantha,
keep
do
him
you
from
have a
her.
job?
It's
Samantha, do
about
you have a job?
let me keep her until you get your stuff together, and then we will go back to it. I've
Do you have
never
a job,
wanted to keep
Samantha?
your daughter from you.
Ma'am, do you have a job? He asked you a question.
Right now, no, but I still have an
Okay,
income.
so why am I supposed to hold that against him if you don't have a job either? And
I also have a home. A guaranteed, steady, there's no chance of it disappearing home. I live
I'm
with
mo-
my father.
I'm moving.
I'm not going to get thrown out
I'm
at any
getting my
moment.
stuff together. I'm moving. I'm doing what I'm
Okay, and
supposed
I
to be
don't
doing.
doubt that, Joseph.
sir, where are you moving to?
Right now I'm at a hotel for next week until we find an apartment that opens up. But that's not an issue of she's had to maintain stable home. I got the
You
hotels.
literally,
The
You
hotel's
living in a
paid for.
hotel right now?
Huh? Yeah, because I had to move out yesterday. So, and I'm waiting for the apartment to open up.
How long
All
is
the
that?
paper,
How long
all
is
the
that
paperwork to
gonna
go through. So, we got the hotel for a week. Everything should be finalized at the end of the week. Stuff takes time. I mean, this is how it is. It's not like she doesn't have anywhere to go. I can travel and take her to a hotel, but for me to stay in a hotel for a few days is frowned
that's
upon.
my point. Why wouldn't you take advantage of your daughter having a steady, stable place to stay?
I'm not
You can
refuting
literally
that.
come here anytime you want. I've always maintained that you can come to this house every day to see your daughter, and you don't.
She's been stable for the last 3 months. She's had somewhere to go every day.
Really hasn't.
She has. She gets off the bus, goes to the same place every day.
So, sir,
This Wednesday was the first day that changed.
have you lived in the same place for the last 3 months until yesterday?
Yes.
You think you'll have a place in a week?
Yes. It's all the paperwork's already been submitted. We're just waiting for the apartment to open up and everything to go through.
Where's the apartment at?
We're not exactly sure yet. So we applied for an assistance and they put us at the top of the list and they bought us the hotel room for the week. They said they'll have it set up by the end of the week. But even so, if that doesn't work out, we have a cabin and right outside of Baldwin we can go to that my girlfriend's parents offered us. So.
All right, let's reconvene in a week, next Friday at 3 o'clock. We'll see how your apartment status is. Can you both make it at that time, next Friday at 3 o'clock?
Next Friday at 3 o'clock, yes.
Ma'am, does that work for you?
Yeah.
If you want to call any witnesses, feel free to call them for that day. If they need a subpoena, you'll have to send a subpoena. You can come up here, fill it out, bring it up here, the judge will sign it, and then you serve it on the person that you want to testify if they need a subpoena. If they'll testify without a subpoena, then just tell them, give them the Zoom information, all right?
Same Zoom number and everything, Your Honor?
Yep.
Okay.
So it'll stay the same, just the weekends and Wednesdays, until I hear more next week about this apartment.
Okay. And you said that was Friday at 3 p.m.?
Yeah, if you get the apartment, get some kind of proof, I don't know, some kind of statement from the landlord or whatever, to prove that you have a permanent residence, that you've signed a lease or some kind of legal document.
What if we choose to go? What if we choose to go to the cabin and stay at the cabin?
Whose cabin?
It's my girlfriend's parents' cabin. They have a couple houses and they offered us a cabin. It was a little ways out, so we weren't trying to go to that. That's what we're holding off on.
If you're gonna have the legal right to live there for an extended period of time, then get someone on to testify about that and some kind of written document that shows that.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you guys back here next week. All right, we'll take up file 2016-54490, Joseph Burwanger and Samantha Roach. Ms. Roach is here. Mr. Burwanger is not. He's not logged into the Zoom meeting. I've checked the courthouse and he's not checked in here. He's not sitting in the hallway. Matter was set for further proceedings on parenting time. Was reset from a week ago till today to address Mr. Burwanger's living situation.
Yes.
I guess, I don't know, ma'am, I'll swear you in, I guess. Do you swear or affirm any testimony you given this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
Do you have any ongoing knowledge about Mr. Burwanger's living situation? I know he was living in a hotel and I didn't think,
Last I knew, he was still in the hotel. I did allow him to, I hate to make it sound like that, like just Delia wanted to see her dad. She missed him. Wednesday night, he asked if she could still come, spend the night with him. I figured, why not? I knew they were still in the hotel, but I figured a fun night, go play in the pool, whatever. One night, no big deal. Delia came home Thursday night, absolutely distraught. Apparently they have 2 adults and 3 children, not counting my daughter. So 4 children counting her in this hotel room with 2 beds. The kids are fighting over the beds and who's going to sleep where in the chair on the floor. I don't know. She came home completely distraught last night, which is why I'm not shocked that Joseph is not here right now, because I did try to contact him and civilly discuss the issue with him and he flew off the handle. So I'm genuinely not shocked that he's here right now. I do not know. I cannot say. For all I know, maybe they checked out of the hotel last night, although I doubt it. But I cannot say for sure whether he is still in the hotel or not. I would honestly assume so, because he's not here after the things that I tried to bring up to him today.
right. So, your
In
daughter's.
fact, he was actually pretty convinced, just flat out. I think that's why he's not here. Like, you're going to tell the judge the truth and I'm going to get her taken. So congratulations. And that was the last, like, even semi-coherent text message I received from him. So I bet you that's why he's not here, is because he is still in that situation.
So there was Joseph and 2 other adults and 3.
No, I'm sorry. I said 2 adults,
Oh, 2.
Joseph and his girlfriend.
Okay.
And then his girlfriend has 3 kids, 2
Oh.
boys and a girl. And then Delia was visiting. And I have worked in hotels. It's very rare you find any rooms that are bigger than 2 queen size beds,
Yeah.
especially in the big rapids area. So they had the kids in that kind of situation. Delia was telling me a lot of things that I'm not going to bring up because, again, it's all hearsay from a 10-year-old. I could be wrong. She could be wrong. She could be exaggerating. But the things that she was telling me last night, my daughter came home very, very distraught last night. She was very excited to see her father and came home from that hotel just destroyed. It took me hours to call. It took 3 people and a couple of hours to calm her down after coming home from that situation.
So, Mr. Burwanger had indicated he wanted parenting time on a week on, week off basis, and you had opposed that. You continue to oppose that then?
At this point in time, yes, I do. I will tell you the same thing I've always told him. I'm not opposed to going back to that situation eventually, but it's just, I feel like he doesn't understand. I'm trying to give him a situation here. Like, how many people have that opportunity for that kind of help? You know what I mean? Like, you have to get your stuff together. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. People make mistakes. You got to get your stuff together. But what's bothering me is he knows that he doesn't exactly have the greatest situation for her, and he's not willing to just accept, like, maybe she'd be better off here. Like he pointed out, I won't even deny, I'm unemployed at the moment, but I do have the luxury and the luck to live with my father, who helps make sure that my daughter is always taken care of. She's got a solid, steady roof over her head, the most steady roof she's had over her head her entire life. Like, it's not about taking her from Joe. It's about giving him the opportunity to be able to put his money and his time, his effort towards getting better. And then we can go back to the 50-50. Like, I'm not her only parent. It would be selfish to just want her all the time. Me and her have had that discussion. Like, I'm not opposed to the 50-50, but I want him to have his stuff together, and I want him to be able to stand up for himself. Because right now he's not doing either of those things. And I know Joseph. I've known him for 20 years. He's one of the smartest, most capable people I know. He should be able to do this.
So, right now his parenting time is currently ordered at alternating weekends and Wednesday afternoons.
Yes.
That's okay. Just the week on, week off. You're not in favor of at this point?
Yeah, I'm not okay with the week on, week off. I mean, legally, like, as far as the visitation times, I'm more than happy with that being still being set. Just the thing is, that was what frustrated me too. Me and Joseph has always been able to negotiate, I guess, outside of the court. Like, okay, this weekend we're not gonna, trade off or whatever. And that was what my daughter was asking for, was just for right now, she doesn't want to be there because his situation is just it's stressful to her. So I'm more than happy with keeping that legally so that he feels he still has legal rights to his daughter. Like, I don't want to take that from him. But right now, just he's not in a good position to have her, and it's hurting her more than it's helping her to be near him.
All right, you had made overtones at the last hearing about having people you wanted to call to testify. Did you have any witnesses you wanted to call to testify today?
My father is here and willing to testify as far as, you know, the fact that I've had Delia for the last year and what Joseph's behavior has been like since then. I mean, if we're gonna be able to come to a solid agreement, I really, the only other two people I was going to get, honestly, I couldn't get for the day, and they really, as much as they do paint the picture that I'm trying to paint, they don't really attend to this issue right this moment.
All right.
So if you would like to speak to my father about the fact of Delia being here and how much she, you know, she did, we sat down with my dad and talked to Joe about how Delia wanted to stay here with us. And so, I mean, he can testify to those things. My daughter has asked to not be with her father or to stay with me full time. He can testify to that, but really, I mean, if you don't need to hear anything regarding that, then
I don't know that it's necessary at this point without him here. I guess in the absence of any other information, it'd be my intent just to keep the current schedule in place, pending further order of the court. I'm not going to set another review, so it would be up to either you or Joseph to file a motion if you wanted to see things change. But
okay.
at this point, it would just be the alternating weekends and
Okay, I do have a question for you. Honestly, I don't know if you can answer it for me or not, but here's my chance. Legally, I guess, okay, like I said, last night my daughter came home from visiting her father and she was very distraught. She flat out told me that she does not want, not even that she doesn't want to be with him right now, it's that she wants to stay with me full time right now because of his circumstances. Legally, what options do I have as far as that goes? Because I'm sorry, I don't think it's fair that I should have to force my daughter to go sleep in a hotel room chair. I mean, I don't want permanently, I do not want him to lose his parenting time. I do not want him to lose his legal right to see his daughter. But right at this moment, it is not, it's not a good situation. She was distraught. I've never seen my daughter like that. And I'm sorry, morally, legally, you can say whatever. Morally, I do not feel right sending her off in a situation that she is not comfortable in.
all right, I guess with that, parenting time, immediately or in the short term, I would leave up to you, I suppose. The parenting time would be as agreed until Mr. Berwanger has a permanent residence. And then at that point, it would transition back to the every other weekend,
Okay,
Wednesday afternoon.
okay, okay, so
That's, that situation.
I know it's a gray area. Like I said, I didn't even know if I could ask you, but just, I don't know what to do here. I really don't.
It's up
I
for
don't wanna
review,
send
so
my
pretty much the door's wide open as to what can happen, at a review. Based on
Right.
certain evidence, but the evidence that they're living in a hotel room with already 5 people, that's pretty crowded situation. And then your testimony about your daughter's state of mind when she returned is pretty persuasive as well. So, you've been pretty honest, I think, and indicated that you would, make time for him to see the child. So I'll leave it up to you until he has a permanent residence. Then at that point, it would be the every other weekend and Wednesday.
Okay, all right, yep. All right, so should I be looking for another court date, or is that something that would, if we felt like the need, then we would do it later?
Yeah, I'm not gonna set another one. If either of you want
Okay.
to change things in the future, you can file a motion.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You bet, we're all set.
Have a good day. Bye.
You too.